computer-generated process. He spent 2 years designing the world of Pandora. He had time. And like George Lucas said, the money that he made from his films, he bought his freedom. He didn't have to answer to anybody. He took as long as he needed to do what he wanted to do. So he spent 2 years designing this alien world. He created all of the flora and fauna of Pandora. He created the geology. He created its humanoid inhabitants. He created the mythology and the history which held this entire world together. And then Cameron hired scientists, botanists, ethnomusicologists, anthropologists, and linguists to breathe life into this world which sprang from his imagination in order to make this world believable to you all, to people all over the world. He spent a year working with the actors, training them, preparing them for the roles that they were going to play, training them for the action sequences, and teaching them to speak this new language, Na'vi, teaching them how to act in front of the green screen in this area that he called the volume, where he set up all of this technology to capture all of their movements and render them into a 3D extravaganza. And then he spent another year shooting and rendering all of the 3D effects and then editing the final footage. So it took 4 years and an estimated $325 million of his own money to make Avatar. And then the studio kicked in $150 million to market it, making Avatar the most expensive film in film history. That is what you all saw. That is why this film has made so much money in 7 short weeks. So let me just give you, since most of you all have seen it, let me just give you the plot overview of Avatar. Avatar takes place in the year 2154. Earth is a dead planet. All of its inhabitants live in a toxic wasteland. All of the planet's energy resources have been exhausted. We didn't do a good job taking care of Mother Nature. Scientists have just recently discovered an Earth-like world called Pandora. And Pandora has this mineral called unobtainium. Interesting name. Unobtainium, which can supply all of Earth's energy needs. They just need to get there and to bring it back, and problems are solved. So then, there's this corporation called RDA, Resources Development Administration. And this corporation, which the Supreme Court said was an entity that can do what it wants, this corporation was given exclusive rights to mine and to sell unobtainium. So RDA then hires a crew of administrators, technicians, scientists, and mercenaries to secure this precious resource, which sells for $20 million a kilo back on Earth. It's all about business. Even in the future, it's all about business. So RDA then builds spacecraft, equipment, and weapons. And they travel to Pandora. And then upon their arrival, they attempt to colonize the indigenous inhabitants called the Na'vi. They do all of this so that they can mine unobtainium. Now, Pandora is 4.5 million light years from Earth. It's in the Alpha Centauri star system, which is a legitimate star system with 3 stars, two giant stars and 1 red dwarf. So it's a legitimate system, 4.5 light years from Earth. It took the spacecraft 5 years, 9 months, and 22 days to travel a distance of 23,462,748 miles to this strange new world. And they made this journey while they were in suspended animation. And we see the story through the eyes of Jake Sully as he awakens from his deep sleep. Jake Sully is a 22-year-old paraplegic former Marine who was hired by RDA to replace his murdered twin brother, who was in the Avatar program. An Avatar, as you all know, is a genetically engineered Navi that is remotely controlled by the consciousness of its human host. And in his Avatar body, Jake is now able to walk again, to run again, to do the things that he had not been able to do. And while he's on the planet, he meets a Navi sister. He is introduced to their clan, and he ultimately leads them into battle against the humans. And for that, he is accused of betraying his race. So in preparing for this presentation tonight, I saw Avatar in the theater 3 times. And then I saw the bootleg version of it twice. You know, I got to do my research, right? I have to do my research. I read over 24 articles, reviews, and critiques of the film from all quarters of society. I also read 4 Avatar publications. And one of the publications is The Art of Avatar. You know, I used to be an artist, so I'm always fascinated by the creativity that goes in producing work. So it's a wonderful book about the illustrations and what it took to produce some of the art. But one of the most significant books that I've read about the film is this little ditty here, right? The book is entitled James Cameron's Avatar, A Activist Survival Guide, all right? And it says here in the upper left-hand corner of the book, it says, this document is a confidential report on the biological and social history of Pandora. Now, I want you to know that this is a piece of agitation propaganda, all right, that is designed to accompany the movie and to increase the buy-in to the whole concept. But one of the interesting aspects about this survival guide is on the back page, there's a warning on the survival guide. And the warning says, this document has been circulated without the knowledge and consent of the Resources Development Administration. Anyone found in possession of this document faces imprisonment or more extreme punishment. All right? So there are folk who don't want you to read what's in this document because it will upset their apple cart. All right? So it's a fascinating world that he has created. Another significant document that I've read that's given me insight into the movie that I'm going to share with you this evening is the script. I got a copy of the script. All right? And it's a great read. You can actually go and download it if you're interested. And I would encourage you all those of you who really are captivated by the film, to download the script. And I'm going to talk about some of the things that were in the script but didn't make it in the film. Important scenes. I don't have time to go into all of them, but you'll see for yourself how significant some of the elements that were left out of the movie were. So what I've gleaned from all of this material is that in order to understand the deep underlining messages of Avatar, you can't just see the film with 2 eyes enhanced by 3D vision. That's not going to cut it. In order to understand this film, you must see it in 5 dimensions, and you must see it with your 3rd eye open. That's what it requires. Only then will you be capable of seeing the profound spirituality that is at the core of Avatar. And only then can you appreciate the spiritual